If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims.
Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Renaye Thornborrow. Renaye is leading a worldwide movement to bring life coaching and mindset skills training to kids. Since 2023, her company has certified hundreds of coaches in over 30 countries, helping them create a business they love as a life coach for kids while empowering children around the world. So beautiful. Life coaching is a game changer for children as they learn how to build confidence, resilience, and mindset skills for life. And it's a game changer for coaches as they increase their impact and income while doing their work in the world serving kids. Renaye is a personal development expert, a retired corporate marketing executive, and the proud mother of 20-year-old twins, son and daughter. Welcome, Renaye.
Thanks for having me, Chris. It's a joy to be here.
Yeah, it's so wonderful, the work that you're doing. You're actually the first life coach for kids that I have met.
Well, it's interesting. I've been doing this for over 10 years, certifying coaches around the world, and we still have people all the time saying, life coaching for kids? I didn't know that was a thing. Tell me all about it.
I know. That's why I'm so glad I met you, because it seems like a no-brainer, but why didn't we start it earlier? And I was just curious, do you ever go into schools? Do schools have you come in to talk, or do you have programs that integrate what you teach for teachers?
Yeah, some of our coaches will go into school. Okay. Some of our coaches are school counselors or educators, so they might bring it into the work they're already doing. Other coaches do after school programs or sometimes camps as well. But we as a business have not tried to get into schools. That's a whole different animal. What we're really all about is supporting our coaches in creating a business that they love, serving children the way that they like doing that the most.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So are you personally seeing kids, or is your business is training other people to serve kids?
Yeah, so I wrote a curriculum about 12 years ago. It's a life coaching for kids curriculum. We use coaching stories written in a fable format, along with discussion questions, activities, all this really child-friendly to support children in developing 27 different mindset skills. And so I certify our coaches to use this curriculum in their work with children. So I personally don't work with kids because I'm busy running this company. I have a team of, as of now, 5 people, and keeping this work out there in the world and supporting our coaches. But we have hundreds of coaches around the world who are supporting kids.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's why I just wanted to clarify. But did you start off doing that? Did you start off coaching kids individually or no?
Oh, well, so when I started, my whole motivation and inspiration behind this was when I had my own children and wanting to teach them all about mindset skills development. Now, keep in mind, you said my kids are 20, right? So when they were little, well, first of all, when I discovered the world of personal development right out of college, I remember thinking to myself, why didn't I learn this when I was a kid? So I knew I wanted my kids to know this one day. And so I became an expert in personal development, created a very successful corporate career, very fulfilling relationships. And then when my children came along, I couldn't find anything out there to help them develop these mindset skills. And so what I did was I started writing.
That was relatable to them, right? They could understand.
Exactly. So I started writing the stories, and that's really when the magic happened, because they loved the stories, but they really started understanding and learning the skills. And when they were, I started working with them when they were really young, but when they were about 7, I just had this pull to bring this work to the world. And at the time I was vice president of marketing for a company here in Austin. And I was like, I knew I couldn't start this business and be a corporate executive, and raising kids and all that kind of fun stuff is hard to do. I know you have a corporate background as well.
Yes.
And so I retired from my corporate job, and I created this company. And when I first started, I was offering my curriculum as a home study program for parents to use with their own children. But what happened, Chris, is I had people coming to me, life coaches, educators, counselors, therapists, and other people working with kids wanting to use my work in their work with children. I thought that was a great idea because I knew they could reach children I would never be able to reach. And that's really how it all evolved. And now we're 100% focused on supporting our coaches and being out there on the front lines, helping kids and families. And it's never been more needed.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love your energy and clarity about your purpose. Like you stay in your lane and you know what your mission is. And it's really helping kids on an exponential level, like train the trainer. And so you can shine your wisdom out to everyone.
Yeah, and it's not just about my wisdom too, Chris. It's all about the greatness that our coaches bring to their work with kids too. I mean, our coaches are the best people on the planet. They have such a passion for helping children and they love personal development work. Working with kids helps them fulfill their purpose as well. And the results they get with children are absolutely transformational. I'm just so proud of the work that they're doing.
Yeah, that is just so amazing. Okay, I was curious about the name of your business. What is Adventures in Wisdom and what's the meaning behind it?
Well, it's interesting because, naming a company can be challenging, right? And I had a couple of different names and I actually had my kids help me name the company. And I'll never forget my daughter going, well, everybody wants to be wise. And, they were probably about 7 at the time, 8, something like that. And it really is, wisdom comes from our own life experience and it comes from other people's life experience. And we can learn from others so that we don't have to go through painful learning. That's wisdom. And life is an adventure. And so it really is why I called it Adventures in Wisdom, because life is an adventure. We're learning these skills through stories, through the adventures and the situations that the characters are facing. And it just makes it a lot of fun for children.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love it. I mean, anytime there's an adventure, like what's next? What's going to happen?
Life's an adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So can you tell me what you teach your coaches, a secret to kids being successful now and later in life?
Oh, it's all about mindset. Mindset is how we think. Our thoughts shape our experiences, but the good news is as human beings, we get to shape our thoughts. And what we do in our curriculum is we step children through 5 key areas of learning. At the core of that is a segment we call mind power. And it's really about helping children learn how their brain works so that they can understand why personal development skills, mindset skills will work for them. Then we move them into what we call inner power, which is where they're developing their inner compass and the inner compass of self-leaders. And they're going to be learning some of the values of self-leaders like integrity, respect, self-respect, and self-responsibility. And then we teach them a framework for how to make good decisions because kids aren't born knowing how to make good decisions. And we also teach them about 5 different types of peer pressure they might face and how to say no to their peers and yes to themselves. Then we move them into something we call me power. And that's all about developing powerful self-confidence and self-esteem from the inside out so that they can feel good about themselves and believe in themselves no matter what situation they're facing, whether, and navigating those ups and downs of growing up. And then we move them into dream power. And that's all about helping kids learn how to live life with direction versus drifting through life and how to set and achieve their goals. And they learn the law of attraction tools of visualization, affirmations, and gratitude so they can understand the brain science behind achievement. And then we move them into something we call slaying dragons. And that's all about handling the tough stuff in life, managing change, going through disappointment, moving through their fear, breaking through conditional thinking so they can be who they were meant to be in the world. So it really is about supporting kids and developing these mindset skills, these fundamental ways of thinking so that they can be empowered no matter what they're facing in their lives.
That's amazing. And so at what age did you start teaching your own kids these concepts?
Yeah, well, I started working with my own kids when they're really little,
like
3, 4 years old. Well, that's always positive energy, right?
Yeah,
but I started teaching the skills, yes, that age. But when I wrote the curriculum, I really geared it towards ages about 6 through 12 because I wanted to reach children when they were younger, elementary, middle school, when they're facing these situations in life at school with grades, extracurricular activities, not making the sports team, not being invited to the birthday party, or learning to set and achieve their goals for the first time. But Carissa, one of the things that's been surprising to me is how many of my coaches use this curriculum with teens. And and even some of their grown-up clients. It's amazing because we all learn from stories. I mean, the brain science behind stories, it helps us create very strong memories, and it's the power of storytelling. And so even though the core of it's written really for ages 6 through 12, I mean, it's we're all kids at heart, right? It's it's relevant to all of us.
Yeah, it's true. And when I started reading this story to my first son in the womb called The Lovables. So I was trying to in the kingdom of self-esteem. And I really learned a lot about it, so sometimes children's books can also empower, these stories can also empower the parents.
100%. One of the stories that we give away for free on our website is the story about developing the skill of positive self-talk. And a lot of our coaches will use this as kind of a discovery kind of workshop or overview that parents and kids can come to together. And it's amazing how many parents, it's an aha moment for them when they really pay attention of their own self-talk and they realize how many thoughts of worry and negative energy and negative thoughts run through their own mind. I mean, it is very, very powerful. It's one of the reasons why I like to give this story away for free on our website, is because I want people to experience what personal development and mindset skills thinking is all about. Because this isn't like how to get your kids to behave. This is all about self-empowerment. It's all about how to lead ourselves in our own lives.
Yeah. And in fact, you might empower your kids to stand up to you, because once you start teaching, right? So you have to get ready to unleash this powerful being and hold the space for them to maybe stand up for themselves and not just be submissive all the time,
It's really important for children to feel like they have a voice at home. And they learn how to even stand up for themselves with any type of authority, and teach them how to do that respectfully. And also how to make decisions. When children are born, we make 100% of the decisions for them. By the time they're graduating from high school, we want them to be as close to making 100% of the decisions themselves, because they're about to be off on their own, whether it's college or living on their, whatever it is that they're doing. And so the faster we can move them towards learning how to make good decisions, having a framework for how to make good decisions so they can practice when they're at home in a safer environment. And when failure costs less, it costs a whole lot less to fail as a fourth grader than it does as a senior in high school or college, or even as a professional later. So it's really giving them a chance to practice and getting their own voice. Having their own voice is so important.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it sometimes can create a little friction maybe with the parents if they're not they don't want to do what you say or whatever as they become more empowered. But the thing is they need to learn those skills so that they can make it out in the world. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, well, it's all about being able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And, I think it's so powerful for parents to realize at times we make mistakes, at times we're wrong. And you know what? At times we need to apologize to our children.
Yeah.
If we messed up, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a sign of weakness. We're modeling for them how to be in healthy human to human conversation.
Yeah. And I think they can respect a parent more too, if a parent is willing to be, have humility and be humble and admit their mistakes or apologize. Yeah, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And so did you get the results you were hoping for with your kids? As 20-year-olds, does everyone ask you that?
I get asked everyone. So I'm so proud of my kids, and I'm one influence, right? They're the ones who've made good choices along the way. They're both juniors in college, both thriving. I'm just so proud of the adults that they are. Yes. It's so fun having adult children, and I just love being around them. We're a close, connected family. So I like to say, I mean, I could say yes, but it's not just about me. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, this was all part of it. Our parenting was part of it. My husband, John, who's their father, I mean, phenomenal man. And just
That's
all,
so sweet of you to say.
we were just really, I think there's a little bit of luck along the way as well at times, and we were lucky that we didn't have to deal with mental illness. We didn't, we had dealt with some physical illness stuff, but we got lucky that there's certain really challenging things that we didn't have to deal with. But I feel like we overall, I'm very happy with how they're doing. And of course, doesn't mean they won't make a big mistake next week, and doesn't mean I won't either, right? It's all part of our human journey, but it's how we navigate it and support each other through it.
Yeah, it's how you respond to it. And it's also
Right.
learning. It's all learning. So what are they majoring in? And do they go to the same school?
They don't. We live in Austin, Texas. My daughter's at the University of Texas in Austin. So she's at apartments. We see her every once in a while, but she definitely has her own life, even though it's the same city. And she's focusing on kind of government, social justice. She's not real sure exactly which route she wants to take yet. And then my son is up at Colorado State University in Colorado, absolutely loves it up there. And he's focusing on business finance right now.
That's awesome. I love Fort Collins. I live in Colorado, but I live by Boulder.
Oh, nice.
I
love Colorado too. We have a great place to go visit.
Yay. I know. It's so interesting because I came here to visit because we have family here and my husband had some business in Fort Collins. And I said, I want to move here. I want to move here. But we didn't end up moving to Fort Collins, but it's such a kid-friendly city and museums and just the way it's structured. It's like, that's really cool. You have a good place to visit.
Yes.
So were your kids the total impetus for you starting this business, or were you ready for a change as like working as an executive in a corporation?
I love my job. I love what I did. Great income, love my team. It was absolutely working with my children, starting to really feel this pull to bring this type of work to children. I mean, I had no intention of starting a business. It just, I was working with my own kids, but I was like, more kids need this. More kids get to have this. And it was just, it evolved. And, it didn't happen overnight. It was over several years. So I'm suddenly like, I really want to give this a go. And, because I was at the vice president level, I transitioned out of my job over about almost a year's time. So went part-time stuff, so I wouldn't leave them hanging, given the type of job that, or the type of company that we had. And I just felt this pull to do more in the world. And, it's been quite the journey. It's been 12 years, and boy, have we had some doozies, some really challenging times. COVID was really hard on us.
Oh, really? You saw a dip?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because coaches love to work with kids in person for the most part. And a lot of our coaches did transition their business to online and working online. In fact, one thing that was great about the online side of things is that it opened them up to working with children all over the world, so that they could work in the middle of the day, they could work at night, they could work at pretty much what met their schedule. But yeah, it's been challenging for sure, but we're coming out of it. And there's such a need right now, Carissa, because
even more.
They're really struggling right now. And there's never been a more urgent time for us to support children in developing and supporting their mental health, because life coaching is a big part of the mental health solution that most people aren't even aware of, because we help on the prevention side, really supporting children in learning about their mindset and proactively developing their confidence and their self-esteem and building resilience. Resilience and coping skills are key to handling and navigating those ups and downs of growing up. And we fill a big gap that counselors and therapists aren't really filling right now, because they're so focused on the more serious cases where they're diagnosing and treating children who are really struggling. Now, that being said, we do have counselors and therapists who add coaching to their work because they do want to be more preventative. But for the most part, coaching provides this foundation of knowledge and skill sets for our kids to support them in their mental wellness and health.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's so valuable for a therapist to add this next layer, because it's just as they're patients or their clients advance, they could do this add-on for them and continue to see them. But I mean, like you said, maybe they're really busy with their own.
Their waiting list all over the nation. I mean, it just, even in the world, it's a worldwide issue right now. There's such a shortage of mental health professionals for children, and there's so much need out there. But part of it, Carissa, is that parents don't even realize that life coaching for kids is a solution for their children in a lot of cases. So they think, they see their child struggling and they think, oh, well, I have to find a counselor for my child. There are a lot of situations that coaching can really support the child. And if they're needing more support, then our coaches always refer out to a mental health professional. And of course, coaches also team with parents. We're part of a parents team. We're not here to replace parents by any means. And part of the reasons why I'm doing so many interviews is really to help parents know there's solutions out there for their children long before counseling is needed.
Yeah, that's really great. And I think a lot of parents will be receptive to that and think about this as a solution. So do you have a network of coaches? Like if people go to your website, then they can find their city, or is it just based on because people can be seen online by anyone? Is it based on qualifications or experience?
Yeah, so the easiest thing for parents to do is if they go to our website, we have something we call Connect with a Coach. And it's a form they can fill out to talk about the situation, how they're looking for support for their child, whether they're looking for in-person or if they're okay with online coaching. They submit that form, and if our coach has availability and thinks that they can support the child, they will respond directly to the parent. So that's probably the quickest, easiest way for a parent to be able to get support.
Oh, that's great. And then you have a mission of also certifying people in your program too, right? So they can, if people want to learn more and provide this service.
Yeah, so we just invite them to go to our website. We have a tab there that says Be a Coach. I mean, the first thing we invite everybody to do is download that free coaching story so you can see it's straight from our curriculum. So you can see how our curriculum works. Then we have an overview on our website, a video. It's about 45 minutes. It's all about the skills our coaches help kids develop, our story coaching process, which is a step-by-step process that our coaches use when they're working with kids, the support they receive. We not only provide this coaching curriculum support coaches on the coaching side, we're very heavy on supporting our coaches on the business side as well, because to be able to do your work in the world as a coach, you have to be successful with coaching. You have to be successful on the business side as well. And, my background was business, corporate. So bringing those skills, customizing them for our life coaching for kids business and giving that to our coaches, that's a big part of the offering that we have for our coaches. And one of the things that really helps them be successful in their businesses.
That's wonderful to provide that value. So I want to ask some questions of some different concepts. So what if a kid has the mindset shift? So they have the coaching, they go through one of your certified coaches, but they're getting conflicting messages from their teacher or their parents. Can they rise above that and still succeed?
Well, for children, it's all about choice, right? So it's for them to understand that if there's a certain situation that's in front of them, they have a choice as to how they think about that situation. We call it wearing our power goggles. It's also called like reframing or shifting in the coaching world, but we call it wearing your power goggles or power shifting your thinking. But that it's rare. So if a parent has hired a coach, it's very rare that we have a parent conflict because they're already geared toward personal development, mindset work. They understand how this works. So what they're more likely to experience would be what you're saying, more like with a teacher, or if maybe a child was attending an after school program and the parents aren't into personal development or mindset skills, then there might be a little bit there as well. But, a lot of it, what's interesting about personal development work is it's so much of it is common sense. It's just not common knowledge. And so for kids, it's really about realizing that they have a choice as to how they think about things. Events are neutral. And a good example is that children face a lot is not doing well on a test. Say they failed a test. That's just an event, right? Failed a test. Well, one way to think about that is failed a test, I'm a failure. And that crushes their self-esteem. If we put on our power goggles and shift our thinking, so power shift, another way of thinking about that is like, failed a test, wow, must not have studied the right thing, or I need to study harder next time, or maybe I can ask the teacher for extra credit. And what this does is it supports the child in separating who they are from this event, from what happened, failing the test, to solving a problem, which is, okay, I got this bad grade, I need to solve this problem, versus judgment of like, I'm a failure. It's two very different ways to experience the same event. And so they learn about the power of how they choose their thinking, and they can then apply that with practice and with a coach's support in most cases, in all situations that they're dealing with.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what's the standard amount of time that a coach will work with a kid in order to get results? Do you think it's like 3 months, or they require maybe a 6-month contract? Yeah. What typical averages do you see?
Yeah, it's really all over and kind of depends on what the goals are. But most of our coaches are going to start with a coaching package. And we actually have coaching package templates that support our coaches in putting together their services, and they can customize those as they want to. But the packages are around things like building confidence, self-esteem, managing peer pressure, self-leadership, building resilience, a lot of the skills that parents are really wanting for their children. So what happens is a lot of times a parent, especially when they're brand new to coaching for children, they'll start with a coaching package, and they can range anywhere from maybe 5 to 7, 8 sessions. And some of our coaches, it's longer. Some of our coaches are more experienced coaches, it's 10 to 12 sessions. But they'll start with a package, and then as the parents start seeing the benefits, and that package is starting to come to a close, then they recommend the next package based on where the child is and what they see as the next area of best development for that child. And then some of our coaches wind up just working with a child through what we call the whole wisdom journey, which is all 27 skills. And sometimes they just continue on, because even though the content of the stories is the same, a child is evolving and growing. Year after year, there's brand new activities, new classes, new grades, not grades as an ABC, but 4th, 5th, 6th sort of grade. And they're evolving and changing in friendships. And so they're learning how to navigate life with the coach's support. And so it really is all over the map. But I will tell you, with the way our curriculum is structured, the story coaching process, we've seen a lot of situations where coaches get results with children within 1 or 2 coaching sessions. It really is.
Oh my gosh.
It really is amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that.
It's exciting. Yeah.
Well, tell me about your certification process. How long is it? And if they want to work with your company?
Yeah. So we're considered a coaching specialty. So our coaches get certified in a home study format. They can take as much time as they need, and they can get certified in their own home. So there's no travel expenses, no time zones to deal with. We recommend a minimum of like 18 to 27 hours to go through the whole thing once, the whole curriculum, see everything they've got to use with kids, then request their test. And their test is open book. They can reference their materials, take as much time as they need. It's designed to help teach or step them through the key learnings of the curriculum. So that takes their learning to the next level. That helps them complete their certification. Then a whole world of resources opens up to them. And as they start working with kids, that's when they really dive deeper and deeper. I mean, the way the curriculum is structured, it guides their work with kids. Really, their biggest job or most important job is to create an emotionally safe space for children so that children can learn and apply these skills to their own lives. And then, of course, supporting the connection throughout the curriculum as well.
Yeah, that's great. I love that it's just home study. It's
most of our coaches will take a few weeks. Some go a lot faster. Others will take longer. It really depends on what their own goals are.
And do you monitor success stories? Do they share success stories from some of the kids that they've coached?
Oh,
I'd love to hear some.
Oh, we have so many success stories and videos.
Because it's been like 10 years now, right?
On our website. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really exciting to see, the impact they have on children. And we've made more and more of an effort within just the last couple of years to get more video testimonials and case studies and as such. So yeah, so you said you wanted to hear one. So we're coming up on Valentine's Day, right? And self-love is something that's so important. One of the skills that we teach is about your respect and self-respect. And the way we teach that is that every time we're with someone, Carissa, we leave a mark, either a gold heart or a grungy mark based on how we treat them. And so one of our coaches was working with a girl named Julie, and Julie was really struggling with being respectful towards others. So went through the skill book about respect and giving gold hearts. And her assignment for the week was to practice giving gold hearts. And she actually wound up not only doing that, but also bringing this activity to her family. And so the whole family practiced giving gold hearts. And it was really transformational for the whole family to pay attention to how they're engaging with each other and giving each other gold hearts. And it's just, I mean, it's such a simple concept, but wow, what an impact it had on the whole family. It's just transformational.
That's amazing. I'm already convinced after that one success story. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to hire someone for my son. My son is 10. So,
10. Perfect age for this type of work. Yeah.
I believe it.
And Carissa, coaching isn't just for children who are struggling. Coaching is for children to be who they were meant to be in the
Good
world,
point.
For them to learn how to use the power of their mind to create their goals, to be confident, to navigate challenges in life and bounce back. You know, those are skills we just don't teach kids. And we all want confidence for our kids. We want our kids to have strong self-esteem.
Yeah.
We want them to be successful, but we can't give it to them.
Right.
But the good news is we can help them to develop it in themselves. And that's what life coaching is all about.
Yeah. And we sometimes as parents, we think that, oh, they might get that at school. But I think that they're so busy making sure that their reading is up to par and that their math is at grade level or above. And that these life skills and personal development skills, I mean, that's our responsibility as parents, or if you hire a coach.
Right. Well, you know, Carissa, we've had so many educators join us because they see what's missing in the school environment. And it's not because schools don't care. They do care.
Of course
but
not.
they have to focus on the academics. They have to help get those grades. That's what their funding is based on. And it really frustrates a lot of our educators. They want to help develop the whole child, and some will bring it into their classroom. Others decide to create a side business. We just did a whole series last week on school counselors. We have school counselors who are using our work with kids because there's only so much that they can do. So they want to be able to support children beyond the classroom. And last week was a school counselor week, and it's just amazing the results that they're getting with kids, and it enables them to take their interaction and engagement with kids to a whole new level.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I'm so glad that they are considering your program and implementing it. That's going to help so many kids. So what's next for you?
Yeah, so right now we are really focused on coaches and coach success. So there's so much need out there, Carissa. We're barely scratching the surface. We are just working to spread the word so parents know that this is an option for their children, so that people who want to support children in this way and possibly become a coach can know that this is an option for them as well, whether they want to create a part-time side business or new career. We've had a lot of people create a whole new career full-time as a life coach for kids, just to know that it's the option. So really what we're focused on, what I'm focusing on is how do I support our coaches in being successful. And the coaching side of it, that's easy for our coaches because they love kids, they love personal development. So supporting them on the business side of it, the mindset side of it, so they can be out there in action and coaching kids.
Yeah. That's amazing. So do you handle, okay, now this is a little bit dark. I don't know why this is coming up, but do you give background checks on these people? Like how do the parents, is that their responsibility to get a background check if they're hiring this person?
Yeah, I don't think that's dark at all. I think that's responsible.
Okay.
The parents are responsible for for taking care of that, because they can hire someone from anywhere in the world. We have coaches in over 30 countries. Actually, we have coaches in over 40 countries. So, it's almost impossible for us to try to do all the different background checks, this, that, and the other. So for a parent, just like any time they want a professional to work with their child,
For their children.
it's up to them as to what their comfort level is and what they want to do as far as background checks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah. So if you do hire a coach, make sure to do the background check. Yeah, because I do that for my employees. And
yes, absolutely.
So what is Zen success to you? What do you define it as?
So first of all, I love Zen success because, I'm a very strong type A person, and driven, high achiever. And so much of my professional life was like, go, 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 go. And what I've really adopted over the years was more of the Zen side of it and the balance. And I will tell you, I am not there all the time, because I slip into doing mode so easily. And so bringing the beingness in to this doingness and success of business, which is how I would define Zen success. I think it's so important that our being and our doing are there together and supporting each other, because it enables us to engage our left brain, right brain, our emotional centers, our physiological centers, as well as our logical centers of our brain and our body as well. So for me, it's bringing that together and with more of a calmer energy. And like I said, I'm still working on it. But that is
at least you admit it. No, I really like that definition.
Yes.
Thinking about being versus doing all the time.
Yeah, it's being while doing. I think true Zen success is being able to combine the two, because when they are hand in hand, it's like that's when you get into the flow and real creativity and creating something we bring to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. It's so true. And I created the name when I was diagnosed with cancer, and I wanted to get out of that mode of just pushing and get into a less stressful, moving from force to flow. So it's amazing. And anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to help spread the word about the impact that life coaching is having on children, and letting parents know that this is an option for supporting their children in developing their full selves and being who they were meant to be in the world. And, if anyone's interested or intrigued, I invite you to go to our website and download that free coaching story and experience the curriculum and work on your own positive self-talk. And if we look like a good fit for you, take that next step.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I just had a personal question. What is your necklace? It's really pretty on you.
Let me show you which one I have. Oh, okay. So I got this in Australia. I have a twin sister, and she actually works with me in the company, which is great. She's been working with me for almost 3 years now, actually. And so when I was in Australia, I purchased this piece, and it's Aboriginal art form. It's like the beaded art, and I can't remember exactly what the design is. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but I just love it. I love the colors in it.
Oh yeah. And your twin sister lives in Australia?
She does. She's lived there on and off, mostly on for 25 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're planning to visit in August, so I can't wait. And she comes back to the States about once a year. Of course, with COVID, that was really hard because I didn't get to see her, but we're really close. We talk every day. Not just about work stuff, but home, business, life, everything. She's awesome.
That's wonderful. Yeah. What part of Australia?
Sydney, just outside of Sydney, an area called Manly.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. I've never been.
A really great place to go visit.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Well, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you and hearing about your program, Adventures in Wisdom. And I'll put your website and how to connect with you in the show notes. So thanks for being on my show today, Renaye.
Thanks for having me, Carissa. It's been quite a joy.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Zen Success is also available on the radio in select markets through amfm247.com. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to zensuccessshow.com to help you on your Zen success journey and join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.